It was reported that Taylor Swift had once again made history when on September 30th, the Recording Industry Association of America confirmed she became the first and only female artist to surpass 100 million certified album sales, a milestone described as monumental and achieved just days before the release of her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl. The association stated that she had sold more than 105 million albums in the United States, a figure that no other female performer had ever reached, placing her in a rare category where only legendary male names like the Beatles at 183 million, Garth Brooks at 162 million, Elvis Presley at 146.5 million, and the Eagles at 120 million stood higher. Reports listed her best-selling records including 1989 from 2014 with 14 million, Fearless from 2008 with 11 million, Red from 2012 with 8 million, her self-titled debut from 2006 with 8 million, and the Tortured Poets Department from 2024 with 8 million. The Recording Industry Association celebrated the achievement publicly through a congratulatory Instagram post, praising her as the first and only woman in history to pass the 100 million certified album units mark. Attention then shifted to the coming era with the announcement of her new record, The Life of a Showgirl, scheduled for October 3rd, which she planned to honor through a 3-day cinematic event running October 3rd to 5th across theaters nationwide. In her own announcement, Swift invited audiences to what she called a dazzling soiree, promising the exclusive premiere of the music video for her new single, The Fate of Ophelia, together with behind-the-scenes material and fresh lyric videos. She encouraged fans to attend dressed in their favorite Eras tour-inspired outfits and to celebrate in the aisles. Coverage emphasized how her path from a teenage country artist to an international pop phenomenon had been unpredictable yet undeniable, with over 100 million albums sold, a global tour selling out, and the new project launching, proving she continued to raise the standard. Subscribe now for more updates. Reports noted that from the earliest years when she began performing at a young age with a guitar and a dream, she had steadily advanced in a manner few could have anticipated, building each era into a cultural movement, turning every album cycle into a significant pop culture event, and using her words to connect millions of listeners worldwide. Observers recalled that her entry into the industry with her self-titled record had been the start of an unusual story, because very few country newcomers managed to cross over with such strength into mainstream pop, but she had done so by relying on relatable lyrics and an ability to transform with every period of her career. When Fearless appeared in 2008, it was said that she truly became a household name, pushing her further into prominence, selling millions, and earning awards that underscored her rising dominance, a dominance that would only expand with Red, which introduced a more mature sound and experimentation that brought even greater recognition. By the time 1989 arrived, she had fully crossed into global pop stardom, achieving 14 million sales for that single project in the United States alone, demonstrating her remarkable power to reach audiences across genres, while later albums reinforced her ability to reinvent yet remain true to her voice. Analysts highlighted that the Tortured Poets Department, despite being a recent 2024 release, had already reached 8 million, confirming that even after nearly 2 decades her momentum showed no signs of slowing. And this made the milestone of more than 100 million cumulative sales especially notable because it was not a matter of past glory, but of continuing and active success. It was emphasized by the association that only 4 acts in history held higher certifications, and they were all legendary male-dominated figures, which made her presence in that rare space not only remarkable, but historic, marking her as the only woman ever to achieve the threshold. In statements released by the Recording Industry Association on Instagram, the language used conveyed celebration and acknowledgement, congratulating her achievement with public recognition, and fans responded online with messages of pride and admiration, calling it yet another example of her breaking barriers. Journalists covering the moment wrote that attention now turned naturally to her new release, The Life of a Showgirl, which was set to arrive on October 3rd, and Swift had already begun preparing fans for the special launch experience she had designed. A 3-day cinematic celebration across theaters where attendees were invited not only to watch, but to participate actively, dressing up in their favorite Eras tour looks, dancing, and treating it like an event rather than a simple screening. In her own words on social media, she described it as a dazzling soiree, promising exclusive footage, lyric videos, and the official world premiere of The Fate of Ophelia video, which heightened excitement and ensured that the release of the new album would not simply be a listening experience, but an immersive occasion. Reporters observed that this approach fit with her history of making every new era memorable and distinct, shaping narratives and engaging fans in ways that extended far beyond music alone. Subscribe now for more updates. Commentators pointed out that her journey had always been marked by unpredictability and reinvention, from early teenage performances in country venues to commanding the largest stages in the world with the Eras Tour. Each step had seemed unlikely yet inevitable once achieved, and that unpredictability made the announcement of her surpassing 100 million even more powerful, for it underscored that she had been underestimated in the beginning but had consistently exceeded expectations. Industry voices recalled how the Eras Tour had sold out globally, becoming one of the biggest concert phenomena in modern history, and the launch of a 12th studio album immediately following such a tour only amplified the sense that she was at the height of her creative and commercial power simultaneously. Observers remarked that few artists in history had managed to sell at such levels while still actively producing new material with immediate impact, and this placed her in conversation with legends while maintaining her role as a contemporary force. Writers chronicling the development said that from debut to domination, her numbers spoke for themselves. But beyond the statistics was the story of a performer who had managed to reinvent her artistry over and over again while maintaining loyalty from her audience, creating one of the most resilient careers ever witnessed in modern music. The coverage highlighted that the milestone was not just about numbers, but about consistency across eras, with each record contributing meaningfully, whether debut, sophomore, experimental, or reinvention, each era adding millions and consolidating her position until the 100 million mark was inevitable. Subscribe now for more updates. It was reiterated that the Recording Industry Association had framed the recognition not only as a statistic, but as history-making, emphasizing that no female artist had ever previously crossed the figure, thereby cementing her legacy as unique. Those who followed her career closely noted that the timing of the certification, arriving only days before the release of The Life of a Showgirl, created a perfect moment of momentum, ensuring that the new album launched under the weight of historic recognition, blending past achievement with future promise, and creating anticipation that sales and impact would continue to rise. Reports added that fans were already preparing for the 3-day theatrical event, securing tickets, planning costumes, and sharing excitement online, transforming the album release into a cultural gathering, much like previous events in her career. Industry insiders suggested that this strategy not only rewarded her devoted fan base, but also continued her tradition of treating music as more than sound, instead as a story, an era, and a collective memory built together with her listeners. As journalists summarized, she had moved from a teenage newcomer singing about small-town experiences to a global force capable of commanding more than 100 million in certified sales, selling out stadiums worldwide, and delivering new projects that still captured massive attention, making her one of the defining figures of her generation.